So thanks a lot of having me here. Before I start, I would like to point you one thing. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen on so great thanks for organizers. This is the best stage. Okay, so now I can start. Yesterday I was giving you a little talk about some things connected to the university because it was about teaching, but now it's about the money, so it's completely not about the university, it's about something else. What was the motivation about playing? What was the motivation about all the things I'm going to talk to you? Runs multiple sites that have a common business model, which is actually the plan subscription. So the user just subscribes for a plan, buys it for the 30 days, a half year, something like that. And this gives me an obvious need to have some account billing app. And actually, as I was developing those things for months, it came that this was the second most complicated part of my system. It was as complicated as my core business. So I thought it's a good thing to share those kind of things, and because just they get complicated. And as stated here, there are some big issues when you're starting to write those kind of things. So if you make the app that's too specific, that is very connected with your business model, it will be not reusable in any way. And if you make a very generic app that fits any kind of business model, you will end up with some, the architecture from hell, absolutely. So, and because the problem is difficult anyway. And it's also difficult when you need to deal with some asynchronous processing, because most of the payment processing is basically the asynchronous things. Most of the making an orders, paying for the orders, and accepting the orders is also very asynchronous. So this is always the hard thing to do because it's asynchronous. And last thing, all this stuff with invoicing is hard because there are some differences between countries, and the law is sometimes different. So it's also not the very easy thing to do. So what I will be talking today about is the two projects I've open sourced, and the first one is Django-getpaid, that maybe some of you is already familiar with, because I know there are a few developers in Poland that actually uses its own production, a part of me. And the second, and it's quite stable. It is stable, absolutely. It's well documented, and it's just ready to use if you need. And the second one is Django-plans that I've open sourced. So it's I've used it by myself. It's fully integrated with getpaid if it's needed, but it's still in some kind of development right now. So just looking for maybe some participation if you need those kind of apps. So the big picture, before I start to discuss this application separately, is like that. So you've got the app, then you got some Django plans that you use for managing these plans, orders, invoicing, all the stuff. And if you have the order model in your application, then you need to get paid for this order. So there's the place where GetPaid have the place, and you can start using. Okay. I will actually start with the description of the GetPaid, because I'm feeling like it would be more important for you, as it's ready to use to implement in your own applications if you need some kind of accepting payments. And I will try to take you with some steps how to actually integrate, where are the problems, and how to start using this stuff. So what were the problems and challenges that this kind of app should do for me, actually? and what I needed to solve, and why I didn't find any ready application. So first of all, I needed to have a very generic application because I was not sure that what will be the second part of the system that I will need to be get paid off. So as it will be Django-plans, or I will integrate some other stuff. So I wanted to be very generic in this sense of integration, and also I would like to have something very lightweight, so I don't need to install the half, package repository from PyP only to run it. So this was also my second thought about it. Another important thing is to having a single API between many payment brokers. It was very important for me because I felt that this is a very Djangish way. Yeah, in Django we've got so that there's every plane, yeah, that is starting from Warsaw is starting right now. Nice. This is the big one. Billings 747. Yeah. Okay. We all know the Djangish way is to make things that are very compositable, so you can have many databases. We've got the Django high stack. You can have many index servers and so on and so on. So I thought, why not make the application that have many payment brokers and you can easily integrate them. And the payment brokers have different architectures, and these architectures are, differs from each other from some state diagram and so on and so on. So it's not really easy to put it into one API like that. Also, I have the issue about when I was using only one payment broker. It just broke for a week, and I was not able to accept any payments from my clients. And yes, it was for a week, and this was the biggest payment broker in Poland. And I felt, no, it will never happen again for me. I cannot rely on only one broker, so I want to have something that will allow me to have multiple payment points, payment brokers connected in the same time in this application. And of course, it should be production ready. So you can imagine I see many of solutions of payments that were not asynchronous. So while you were accepting the request from the payment broker that you should check the payment status, you do the request to actually check it. So it was totally synchronous, and this design was absolutely awful. So I needed something what used Celery actually, and it was asynchronous. And of course, I needed to make use of multiple currency support because if I want to, integrate many payment brokers, actually there will be a need to accept many currencies, not stuck in one or two. So I am, first of all, I am a researcher. So what I did a survey. What is there? And there are many payment apps ready to use, but none of that apps meet my requirements. So either they were too big, they were a part of some very big framework, or they were only dedicated to accepting payment, for example, from PayPal or something like that. So it's also not for me. So, but actually there was one project which I mentioned here, Mamona, which have something similar to my needs, but not exactly. And I felt that I will start writing my own application, but I've used many. I based some code from Mamona, actually. So what's the status of the project right now? So as I said, it is in stable version, so it's have this 1 point something. Right now it's 1.50 version. It has good documentation in my opinion. it's mostly right now supports only Polish backends because this was what in my need. And there's some Brazilian committer which did the Brazilian MOIP backend right now. And if you are not familiar with the Polish market, these are, I think, the most top 4 Polish players on the payment brokers. So actually, I would like to have, I would like to see here a PayPal integration because this is, I think, what's most needed in the international case of accepting payments. So this app is successfully deployed in many production systems right now and have some officially mentioned on this payment broker side, but not really. How to get it? Of course, it's in PyPy. It's in GitHub documentations on the read docs, nothing interesting. So I would like to put you in some steps of integration right now. So it's straightforward. You add the GetPaid and okay. You need to define what backends you want to use. So in this case, you define the settings named GetPaid backends, and you put those backends there. And also what you need to do, because each backend is the, I think I will be the speaker with the most frequent flies, plane flies. So yeah, 7. So let's count more. Okay. So you need to put those GetPaid backends on installed apps because each backend is the application, the Django application by itself, which gives it very good flexibility because you can do some stuff like adding static files and so on very easily if it's just an application. The backends need settings because all kind of payment brokers have different methodology of how it should work. So, for example, maybe you need some 2 keys for security, some ID of point of sale, some authorization key again, and so on, so on. And this will differ between the backends. So. So you put it like that, and this follows the Djangish style of cache and databases, I think. 8th plane, okay. Of course, you need to put stuff into URLs, and this is quite nice that GetPaid will automatically discover all backends that are used, and will also put it on the URL path, so you don't need to put on anything other than this. And okay, here we are in the I want to stop a moment here on this slide because I will tell you about the principle of the GetPaid, that it's trying to have absolutely the minimum assumption about your code it will integrate with. And this minimal assumption is that actually what you see here is could be completely, different from it. So this is a custom code in your application, and the only thing you need to know about this code is that it's the order model, and this is the model you want to get paid on. Yeah. So this is all. There is no other requirements. Of course, it's good to have a Unicode defined for the model that the order can be easily represented as some description. In this case, and of course it would be nice to have get absolute URL defined as this is the default action to redirect you to this order after payment. So this follows the Django style, so it's nothing very custom. And everything what you have here and even the name order is irrelevant because you register this order to the GetPaid like that. Okay, and then all the things that are in some kind custom are implemented using signals that queries for some information. So this was designed. It felt very easy to use. And for example, here you have a new payment query. So when you do new payment, you need to discover somehow what kind of, if you have an order, what is the amount you want to be get paid off, yeah, and what is the currency. So because, as I said, there is no method here that says you did get total amount, get currency, and so on. Why it's not? Because maybe you will need to integrate some third-party app that will not have these methods, and you don't want to mess with their code. So there is no assumption about this model. So you need to explicitly define that the listener that will, know how to get those values and put it in the payment here, which is given as argument. And then, if the payment is made, if the status of payment is changed, you will have a signal payment status change, which gives you two arguments. It's old status and new status, and you can do anything what you want with your order in case of this situation. So, for example, of course, you need to be sure that for example, you will not accept twice the same order if it's already accepted and so on. But this is your code, so you know what you do with your order. 9th lane. Yep. I'm on the winning piece. Okay. Okay. And the only thing that you need to do to start the payment is to somehow expose the payment form. And the Django-getpaid gives you the payment method form that will generate the form based on your order model that will sort this all payment methods. Filter the payment methods with currency and so on and so on. And after it will work automatically. I will show you maybe a little example later. And this is the template boiler part, so it's absolutely some standard thing. Yeah. Form, URL of getpaid, and the form, and that's it. Okay, so I believe that if you want to start to use this application, that you will need to want to do some new backends for your own payment processing brokers that there is in your country. So how it's works? So basically, the backend is the external Django application app that lives in the source code of Django-getpaid, but it could be imported from absolutely any other location. So this could be a custom code and even closed code in this sense. It should expose the class should expose the method gateway URL, so it knows how to redirect to the payment broker. It could getpaid allows to use get and post method because both those methods are used by the payment brokers. It should also define accepted currency that the getpaid will know which kind of orders can be processed with which kind of backends. And then it's about what is the custom thing in the payment broker itself. So it can define all own views, salary tasks, some own URLs, everything what it needs to do, because this is a very custom. It's hard to determine what's that. So, and also it's very nice to provide something like management command that will help you with integration, because, for example, PayU broker needs to define in their system by the www some success URL, failure URL, and so on, and this could just generate these links that you need to provide and tell you that you need to provide if you don't know it. So this is just helpful for developers to configure this on broker side. And again, some big picture. What's the payment flow diagram? So you've got an order view. From this order view, you can expose this form of new payment. So it's redirected to the getpaid new payment view, which creates a payment, asks where's the gateway URL that you need to redirect to. So here is the payment broker system. You do the stuff there, pay or whatever. And then you return to this payment processor success or failure view, which will do some stuff and automatically redirect you to some fallback view, which is defined by default as an order view. So you return to the order view again, and depending on how the brokers work, for example, it could somewhere asynchronously, call your custom online view just to notify you that the payment is accepted or rejected. So this is what could have been done asynchronously in such case. For example, this is the case of the PayU. The payments model is generated dynamically on the fly because it needs to know what's the order model it should connect with. And this was the code that I've copied a little from the Mamona, and it uses some abstract mixing that just introduces that do it dynamically without using content type. And I thought on this stage of developing of Django-getpaid that this was a very good idea to avoid content type. But as I think it over and over again and have more troubles from this and then I gain anything, so I think I will, in 2.0 version, I will use content type. But at this point, I regret nothing. So you can view a gorgeous talk, lightning talk from Łukasz Langa from last EuroPython if you search. It was nice. So Łukasz, if you are here, thanks for the talk. So what are the payment statuses? GetPaid tries to cover all the statuses with which it owns. So why? Because it's simple, and simplicity is a good thing. So it's new. The payment can be new, can be in progress, can be paid or partially paid, and can be failed. And nothing more interests us from the side of Django. And of course, there will be many voices that, oh, my payment broker have something like it's paid, but it's now rejected, so it's not paid, but was paid, and so on. So this is the problem of your backend integration, because you need to map somehow those kind of activities to the simple payment statuses, because GetPaid starts trying to keep it easy on this point. So why not mention solve? Because if we use the dynamic model, there is the problem of how to use solve. So and you cannot have the solve migrations in the project because the model is now dynamically generated for your application. So you need to use solve migration modules and put its migrations in your code. There are also some tricky things. For example, you need to remember to have the IP address of your client that is actually connecting to you, and you probably will do some stuff on in some proxies. So you need to remember to do some, for example, middleware for it, like in Django documentations or something, because usually you have local host, yeah. And some payment brokers requires those informations to be sent to it. And second tricky thing is about an SSL and redirections. So if Django makes reversing the relative URLs, it can mess around some if there is no X forwarded proto defined. So also remember about it to put in the documentation secure proxy SSL header HTTP X forwarded proto HTTPS and configure it also in your web server. Okay, so this was about the GetPaid, and just a few words about Django-plans. And this talk will be more about some ideas in Django-plans, not so detailed as it was in Django-getpaid. So again, some kind of big picture. We've got the classic pricing table. So Django-plans will do the pricing table for you. So what you can define is, as you can see, you have something like a plan model, which defines several plans. Those kind of plans can be unique for the users, can be deprecated, can be active or not active, and so on. You have some quotas that you need to put on the user with some values. So this is a plan quota, and you've got some pricings, and those pricings can have some different prices on the plans. So this kind of pricing table Django-plans allows to do. So just putting some highlights points on those models. So this plan model, as I said, represents a single plan. What it supports. So you can define this plan as available or not available. So you can have some legacy plans for old users that don't want to change. And also, the plan can be assigned to the one user, so you can very easily do customized plans for the special users, and I do it a lot, obviously. Yeah, you need the quotas and pricings to define the plan, and the quota is just some name and description and unit and code name. So in the code, you use these code names to refer to these quotas, and you can then, for example, do some stuff like not allowing to do some objects or limit some number of some things, you know what I mean. So you can use those code names there to limit something. And also you can have the Boolean quotas that are yes-no kinds of parameters that's supported. And the pricing is something like you define the number of days that this pricing is. For example, 30 is for monthly or 365 for annually. So this works like that. And then you can put some actually price value on it when you put the pricing and you connect the pricing with the plan. And two things, what was the tricky things in this application. So if you switch the plan, it's a tricky thing because there are plenty of things that could happen. So your user can have some cheap plan and want to switch to the more expensive plan, but it could be after this account has expired, or it has some days of the service already more to use. So it's not very easy to decide what's the good idea of how to, billing the user of changing the plan. So should it be free or put some price on it? So there's a whole change policy backend for that, and there is a standard change policy backend that you can do some calculations like that. So for example, we've got two plans, single and team, and one is for 20 euro per month, and the second one is 50 euro per month, so this is per day, yeah. For example, user have 23 days more to use, and he wants to switch from single to team plan. So this will put this kind of formula that will calculate how much days left and what's the difference between the plans. And there could be also some constant upgrade charge, and so on and so on. You can define all of that, and there is a price mark that says the user needs to pay extra 25 euro and so on and something. So this kind of activities are allowed, and even if it's not fit in your business model, you can easily do your own kind of stuff, your own kind of plan change policy also. And pluggable taxation policy, because this is a second very hard thing to solve. So if you are the company in the European Union, there is some taxation policy that says that you can put tax on persons and company if they are in the same country, but if they are from different countries, so you need to check the VS system. And then you can do the reverse charge, and if you billing the person from non-UE, So then you can not put the not charge the tax and so on. So all of these kinds of activities are in the taxations policy, and I believe this is the common taxation in the whole European Union, but definitely works in Poland. And I know that there is some developer from Russia, I think, that was starting to do something like that for the Russia. So this is also, yeah, and after that, after you have these orders and you know that it is paid and you change the status of the order, of course, all the emails are sent and so on, you can do the invoicing. And this application gives you the possibility to generate printable documents like order confirmations and the invoices, and it's done basically using the HTML. So there is no PDF generation on the fly, but this gives you an ability to write it very simple as a Django templates and all those kinds of documents. And for example, there is already implemented by me the template. I'm sorry, the template, the bilingual template for Polish-English invoice, and that's. Yeah, and of course payments must be implemented by something else. For example, you can plug in the Django. I'm sorry, this should be Django-getpaid here, Django-getpaid, and you have the payments done. So that's it. Yeah. So thank you about this speaking. And how many minutes we have? Or more? 4 minutes. So that's great because I can show you just a little. Yep. For question answer. So. Okay, so. Let's hear it from Krzysztof. Thanks.